Hello, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If I have never had the pleasure of meeting you, my name is Myunique.
And my name is Sean.
And welcome back to our channel.
Ooh.
Honestly, the last time you were in a video on my channel was the meet my fiance, and that was like back in November.
6 months ago.
Yeah, so it's been a minute. It's honestly been a minute since we've even done content, just because planning a wedding, we were still both working, doing ministry, all these things. Like, it ended up taking much more capacity than we thought, and so we didn't really have time to do videos. But now, our wedding was 2 weeks ago?
Not a week and a half, right? Last Thursday?
No. Because we had our honeymoon.
Thursday, a week.
A week and a half?
Yeah, a week and a half.
So it was like a week and a half ago. But we are back, and we have been unwinding things in our lives, kind of getting things together and in order.
Do we need to...
Sorry, our dogs are just... Nope, they're not even in the shot. It's okay. But we're excited because we are back. We are back. And so, for today's video, since our wedding was a week and a half ago, I kind of wanted to unpack the events of like how we think the wedding went versus like our expectations of it and etc. We're gonna unpack it from beginning to end of things that went well for us or even didn't go well, things that we wish we would have changed, etc., etc. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the night before the wedding.
In all honesty, I was pretty excited in the lead up to the wedding. Like, I wasn't really nervous at all. So that's where I was.
What time did you go to bed?
I think I went to bed like regular time.
Which is?
Like 10:30, 11.
Yeah, I think I went to bed the same that night. Where I kind of not struggled is I woke up really early. And I'm the type of person that once I'm awake, like I have to stay awake. So I woke up at like 5, probably a little bit before 5. And I was like, well, I just got to get started on my day, you know? So I started like checking off all of the things that I knew I needed to get done. So that transitions to the next day.
The day of.
The day of the wedding.
That's crazy.
The only thing that like I had every single detail mapped out of like what I needed to do, how long it was gonna take, when I needed to be at the venue, because I had to be at the venue by 3. Supposed to be. That did not end up happening. And you were supposed to be at the venue at
3:30 or 3:15.
3:15.
So that we were staggered.
So that we didn't see each other. Like, there was no cross. In all honesty, I would have actually been there on time. I had the mishap of making my... No, it wasn't even making my hair appointment the same day. But I made my hair appointment literally that morning. This salon didn't open till 10 o'clock, which I was like,
well, you didn't make it that morning. You scheduled it for that morning. I scheduled
it for that morning. And it's weird because, like, some salons on the weekends will open at 8, and that's what I was hoping for. And they were like, no, we open at 10. So I was like, okay, I need an appointment at 10 o'clock because I have to... Our venue was an hour and a half away.
About an hour.
About an hour and 15 to 20 minutes away from Palmdale. So I had to calculate time for that of like, oh, I have to be there by 3, blah, blah, blah. And I had my error with the people that did my hair. Like, they were very chatty, very slow. And I literally had to be like, I'm getting married in a couple hours, so, like, I have to leave. You know, because people just, like, when they're extroverted, they just talk a lot. And in salons, it's super normal. My hairstylist was late to the appointment. She had herself double booked. But I get it. I wasn't mad about it or anything. I was just like, I just need to get it done. Because I had no other, like, backup for my hair. Yeah. Because I had to get a wash, blow dry, press, like, the whole 9. So that's where I kind of got messed up because she was supposed to be done by 12. It was supposed to be a 2-hour appointment. I didn't get done till, like, 12:30. Yeah. Probably pushing closer to 1 o'clock.
And we had left you, like, an hour cushion in your schedule.
Yeah,
and
we
still went, like, another 15 minutes over that cushion.
Yeah. So thankfully, I had great people that helped because we also had to pick up the cake that day. They took care of picking up the cake, getting everything together. I had to go back to the hotel after my hair appointment to get all my stuff together, packed in someone else's car that was taking me. So that's where I honestly had my mishap. And I think had that not happened, everything as far as the time would have gone according to plan.
Yeah.
So then let's go to the venue.
Well, wait, let me do my day of.
Oh.
You know.
I didn't know you did anything today of.
That's the point. I'm a better safe than sorry person, which is why my day of was empty. Me, I got my hair cut, three days
yeah, 3 days
prior.
before.
It was still fresh for the wedding and all that stuff, but my thing is always like, something's gonna happen. I need to get everything done and have like 48 hours, 36 hours of nothing, because you never know. So day of the wedding, I'm sitting there, I'm talking about the longest day of my life. I would have, if it was up to me, I would have showed up at the venue at like 11 a.m. So pretty much.
We also like tried to avoid talking to each other. Well, I tried to avoid talking to you so much, but then I was like, I forgot this, I forgot that.
Yeah. All that to say, my day of was super slow.
So now we're gonna fast forward to
arrival.
Pre-service is what they would call it, of like getting ready.
So you were supposed to get there at 3. I was supposed to get there at 3:30.
Yeah, I think
I got there like 2:45. You got there like
probably 3:30.
3:30.
Probably 3:30. So like when I was like, oh, I have to be there at 3, I was like, what am I gonna do for 2 hours? You know what I mean? But once we got there, like once I got in the room upstairs, which is like our bridal suite, everything was chaotic. I'm talking, I had friends in the bridal suite that was like also getting ready, and it's just like, oh, where's this, where's that? The photographer was there asking me for like so she can get pictures of my dress, my shoes, all of that, and like I'm running around. I didn't have any makeup on, so I still had to do that. My hair was done, but I had no makeup on, and I had to help Letty finish getting ready, doing her hair, all that stuff. Like there were just so many things that like hit the ground running, and then. Of course, the closer you get to the time, everyone's texting. Where's the front entrance? Like, how do I get in? And I'm just like, God. So then, by the time I finished Letty, I was like, okay, I need to. And that was like, I was pushing it. Yeah. I think by the time I started getting ready, it was like 4:30. And we were supposed to start at 5. Yeah. I didn't end up getting ready until about 5. And then I told the venue, we need to push back our start time to 5:15. But I kind of planned for that. I said 5:10 because I wanted to make sure everyone was there. 2 of my best friends who are not from out here, shout out to Shiny Teeth Club, they got stuck in traffic on the way, and they've been here. Like their flights were early. It's not like they came in this day of the wedding. Like they got stuck in LA traffic. So I pushed back our start time because I was like, give people a grace period. But then Brittany, who was helping us from the venue, came upstairs and she's like, girl, we got to get started. And I literally started putting on my dress at 5. And then it wasn't just a dress. Like I had to get pinned for my veil, the whole 9. And then I had to do a first look with my girls. That's what took it. Because the venue, they were like, you guys need to go downstairs and get to your seats. And I was like, no. I have to film the first look, which was great, by the way. Because then we did the first look. We shot. Because I'm like, I can't just go out. Then there's no first look. And we didn't do a first look, so I knew I was going to do it with the girls. And it was good, though, because then they ended up praying over me before I walked down the aisle. And then they left and kind of gave me a moment to myself. But I think we didn't start till maybe like 5:15, maybe even 5:20 if I'm being honest. But that was just my end. And it was just like crazy.
So it's funny because I'm realizing we haven't shared these stories with each other yet. Yeah. So I'm learning stuff that's making things make more sense on my end now. Because on my end, it was the most peaceful, serene. Like, so me and Letty show up, we're early, we go into the groom's room. And for context, you had no bridesmaids, I had no groomsmen. We had like a crew and all that and people who were around. But like, I was in the groom's room by myself. They had set out like a couple of different glasses of, apple cider and all that stuff. But it was just me. They had a little fridge with some soda. Most people would be like, oh my gosh, you have no groomsmen. Like, weren't you nervous? Weren't you lonely? I was living my best life. And there was a foosball table in there. So Letty's in there playing foosball. Me and her playing foosball a little bit. She's entertained. And so I was able to just sit back in the chair and just be like, I'm here. I'm here. Here's where it gets hectic for me, which is funny because now I realize it was your fault. In the lead up, it's laid back, it's cool, and then people start coming in, and like you said, there wasn't clear direction. So I'm kind of cracking the door open every once in a while, like just seeing what's what. I'm hearing certain voices, but making sure. So my first concern was that I was going to see you when you parked, because my side of the building, the curtains were wide open. I could see people pulling up. So I was like, you're going to pull up and this whole no look thing ain't going to work. because I'm gonna see you get out the car and I'm be like, hey, like, it was right there. But thankfully you parked somewhere else. Then some of the fellas start showing up and they're kind of just wandering because nobody's telling them where to go. Yeah. So at one point I open the door, my boy Charles, Bennett, Axel. At some point, I run into each of them when I just open the door, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Sean, hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey, come in." So what was technically supposed to be just me in the room, and at this point, I had sent Letty over to you for you to finish her hair. So I kind of got some accidental, impromptu groomsmen. So at a certain point, all three of them were in the room with me. We're standing around. Bennett ended up helping me get my bow tie right, tighten up my vest, like all stuff that I didn't anticipate that I would need help with. Yeah. They were there to help with. We ended up praying together. But where I started to panic is when I got dressed all the way. Tyler had done the pictures. We had prayed. We were ready. And 5 o'clock hits. And nobody's coming to get me. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm ready. They told me 5 o'clock, maybe a 5-minute grace period. Why is nothing going? I'm cracking open the door. I don't see no staff. I'm like, what is happening? Why
they were all upstairs late? In my room.
They were all with you. And you were up there telling them, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Well, we had already established 5:10 would be a start.
But I didn't see nobody. So I was like, something's going wrong. So then I go ahead and I send the fellas out. I'm like, hey, y'all grab y'all seats. They're going to be, calling on me in a second. So I'm now I'm in there by myself. And when the first bit of panic set in is when Amy came to give me my boutonniere. And I realized, not only did I not have it on, I don't know how to put it on. I don't even technically know where it goes. And she gave it to me at like 4:48. Or no, 4:58. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to walk down the aisle in 3 minutes. And I don't know how to pin this thing on. I'm stabbing myself with, I'm Googling. I text you too. You probably didn't see. I was like, how do you put it on a boutonniere? So I did it and it looked decent. But then I'm like, no, it's not good enough. So I redo it. They finally come get me at like 5:20. I'm like, and I heard the cheers happening when you did whatever your first look.
Yeah.
So I hear, oh my God. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Y'all got me locked in there like I'm in prison. I don't know where anyone is. I'm thinking we running late. Meanwhile, you coordinating the whole thing. And I don't even know.
We're going to move on because it's long. Anyways, okay. Let's talk about the ceremony portion. I almost fell walking down the aisle. I almost tripped on my dress. I think I have a clip. If I find one, I'm going to post it. But I was okay. But how was it walking down the aisle and seeing everyone?
I was really focused on Letty.
Yeah.
So I didn't really look at everyone until I got up front.
Honestly, because I knew I would fall, I only looked at you. Like the whole time. If you watch a video, I think I said hi to like one person that I noticed in the crowd. And I was like, and then I kept walking because I knew I would trip over my dress. Mm-hmm. And so I just like focused on you and I kept walking. What was your favorite part of the ceremony? Not the reception, the ceremony.
Your surprise audio thing was pretty solid. Your surprise audio thing.
And I'm so excited to see you in just a couple of minutes. But before I do, I wanted to read you something that I wrote to you back in 2020.
What is it? Letter to my future husband?
Yeah. I read one of my letters that I wrote, like, Dear Future Husband, my account that I disabled. I took a letter that I wrote back in 2020. And even reading through some of those letters, like, because I did it, like, a week before, it made me, like, really emotional, I think, of, like, realizing I wrote all these letters for years, I posted them on Instagram, blah, 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 and then, like, I was standing in that moment. Mm-hmm. So that was, like, very, like, I think I haven't showed you, I filmed myself while I was rereading those things. And I was literally, like, weeping. And I couldn't post it yet because you didn't know about it. Mm-hmm. But, like, it was a lot. But, yeah, so that was your favorite. My favorite moment was actually, and it's not surprising, worship. Mm-hmm. He's been my fourth in the fire, time after time. Born of His Spirit, washed in His blood, and what He did for me. We had a worship song played from friends of ours, I Trust in God, which was like, I don't even know if we talked about it. I just said it was happening. Mm-hmm. It was a super sentimental thing for me. Like, first off, I knew I wanted to do worship, but the I Trust in God song by Elevation Worship was just so significant to like that moment in my life. Just because Pastor Jeremy, when he did our ceremony, he talked about like the year of the man, which I don't even think I've unpacked that with people yet. But the New Year's service that he gave me that word that my husband was coming, they played I Trust in God because it had kind of been recently new. And I have it in my journal, but I remember that New Year's Eve service, before Jeremy gave me the word, I was crying because I was like, how can people sing these words? Like, I can sing it, but I don't mean it. Like, I'm singing, I sought the Lord, he heard and he answered. But I don't feel like the Lord hears me and he's answering. And so I, like, literally journaled that on New Year's Eve. And it was after that New Year's Eve service that Jeremy gave me the word. So it was just, like, that was such a sentimental song. But even more so, just being in the room. Because we had, like, a significantly small ceremony. Like, it wasn't like we had hundreds of people.
Yeah.
But I think hearing the people that we love and care about the most all worshiping just to be like in that moment was something so special to me. Like, I just started weeping. I started weeping, I started crying, and I was just like, oh man, like, here we are. And then just like repeating those words, I sought the Lord, he heard and he answered, and then we were standing in that. It was like my favorite moment from the ceremony. What was one thing that you wish we would have done better or could have done?
I can't think of anything significant enough where I was like, I wish this was different. Even like I said, not having groomsmen, but then on the fly, like certain guys who I know and love just showing up and being in the room, like I felt like that was the Lord, you know. So
if I could do one thing over, and it's crazy because I seen a TikTok on it and then I didn't do it because I was just like losing my mind all day with stuff. But something I wish we would have done for me was actually attend our cocktail hour.
Oh yeah,
and I mentioned that to you. Because we had guests there that left after dinner, which was totally fine because it was traffic and all these things, and some people can't drive at night. But like, I had a moment where he actually asked, like, "Do you want to go to cocktail hour?" And I was like, "But we have to get ready for our grand entrance." And our grand entrance was incredible, like the sparklers, 10 out of 10. But I do wish if I could go back, is that I made time because we didn't take too many photos, like at all. Like, we kind of got through our photos fairly quick.
Yeah.
But I wish we would have attended our cocktail hour to talk to guests that we kind of missed some of our guests at the wedding, which was, for me, I was like, oh my gosh.
That's fair. That outside area was just beautiful,
I didn't even see it.
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it, and I still haven't seen a single photo of it.
It was
I know it was nice
calm.
because they told me there were couches out, there were the tall tables. Like, I didn't even see it. So hopefully when our photographer gives us back photos, I can see some of the Well, no, because she was with us.
Yeah.
She went
I
for like a
walked out for like 30 seconds, and everybody kind of looked like, is he supposed to be here?
Yeah.
You know, but
that was the only regret I had. Was cocktail
if we could have both had like 3-4 minutes to just mingle, give hugs, and then go back.
Yeah.
That would have been
that was it. Okay, moving on to the reception portion.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite? Like, what?
The his and hers table.
You like that?
I did.
Center of attention?
I
did. For a reason.
I did. It wasn't the attention part, but it just felt special. Like, in my mind, for some reason, I thought we were going to be at one of the round tables, but like just us.
Did I never send you the layout?
I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. But the his and her table. So when I seen it, I was like, ooh. I know this is going to sound crazy, but like they had like plants in front?
We had a florist that did that.
Yeah, so it was like, it felt in front of everybody, but it also still felt private at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, people had to come. We
could hide behind the flowers while you're chit-chatting together. Eating, all that stuff. Yeah. I loved everything about this day. Like, outside of the cocktail hour, which was very minuscule, I felt like it went perfect.
Yeah.
Like, everything we talked about, the photos we envisioned, because we picked that venue for I picked the venue for a reason. Like, the people that we had there, like, I felt like it was by far one of the most perfect days. Yeah. We had, like, 0 issues. You know, most people, like, there's a problem that comes up or whatever. Like, we had nothing, which to me was, like, the grace of God. I was like, yes, thank you, Jesus, because I prayed so hard to, like, please let's make sure everything goes smooth. Like, I did not have a single care or worry once we started. So, but my favorite was the first dance, just because, again, I am very sentimental. We all know this by now. And just like the song, we actually ended up changing, because we had a song we were going to do, I believe, by the Jonas Brothers, because it holds sentimental value for us. Jonas Brothers concert. We were engaged.
First, like, big,
all that stuff. And it's a great song. And the lyrics really kind of tell a lot of our lives. But then I suggested a change maybe a month before the wedding. I showed you that song. And it was actually a song I learned from TikTok. Shout out to TikTok and shout out to the girl who was like, "This is my wedding song. Nobody take it." I took it. She literally has a video and she's like, "This is gonna be my new wedding song." And then at first I was just like, "Oh, it's a TikTok." But then I listened to the lyrics, and I like to connect things, and so I don't know if anyone even heard the song the way that we did or I did during the wedding. It was sentimental for me to just like take in that moment everything that we've been through over the last couple of months as we planned out the wedding. Like, it's just been a lot, and so it like really cared, like just to be in that moment and dance to that song. I was like, just relief for me.
So what I liked about it was, because I know in the build-up you were like, we haven't even practiced our first dance. We haven't practiced this. And I was always like, chill, relax, because I hate practicing stuff because it creates like a nervousness and an expectation for me to like, okay, I got to do it just like I practice. I am a wing it person all day. And sure enough, first dance started and I winged it.
I had no choice.
It was good. It was a good moment.
And then we partied all night. And then we headed home. All of the stress on my end of prepping and planning, like, I'm telling you, the day went exactly the way that I had hoped it would go. I felt like it was a dream.
It was good.
We did it.
Handshake.
We did it. And then we did this. Anyways, we're going to end the video here because I don't know how long it is, and I'll have to edit. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because now I have time for content. I have time for more content. So be sure to subscribe. If you are not already following me on Instagram, you can reach me at Myunique Inez, or Miss Myunique is my personal one. Sean doesn't care to give you guys his Instagram, but
you can reach me at, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah. But thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.